When I asked what the energy in the collective that needed to see this message today was, I got the Five of Earth. Fear surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. For clarifiers, we have low vibrational spiritual practices, and I get knocked down, but I get up again. Hi, my name is Geneva. I am a psychic medium and universal channel. And I go by the Angelic Rainbow Oracle here, wherever you're watching this from. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever this is being seen, that is the name that I go by, Angelic Rainbow Oracle. So I'm going to go ahead and start telling you guys what I'm seeing in these cards here, because this is not a typical storyline. This is going to involve some past life energy, and we may see where this leads. So I'm going to start off by showing you this card up close. There we go. So these little orbs around here remind me very much of an image that I created for past life readings, wherein the past lives could be seen in the orbs around the Akashic records. And that is standing out to me because this is an energy, whoever this energy is for, and I thought this would be fun. I have my little thing here that has some beautiful, by the way, this piece here is from my bestie, Warrior Mystics, LLC, over on Facebook. She is awesome. Her name is Brandy. Super amazing. And I have them with all of these little letters, so I'm going to pull some letters out, and we're going to just see what comes through. This is not saying that if you're not resonating with the letters that we pull, that this is not for you. It's just simply saying that if it is resonating, that maybe you should listen a little harder. All right, so we have a C, a Z, an O, a Q, R, we have an M, and an E. Super weird. I heard the word come. C-O-M-E, come, come, come. So I heard Christopher, Christy, cry. I heard cry. Somebody might be doing a lot of crying. Me. This is important. The me is important. So these are the letters. Let's go ahead and set these over here. And we're just playing with this, guys. I am not sure what my format for these readings is going to be. I just know that I need to do them. And so these are messages that I trust that whoever's going to see it, whenever they see this, these are timeless readings, they're going to know what they needed to get from this, and they're going to get it. That's just how it works with spirit sometimes. So if you're somebody who is spiritually inclined and you've been doing readings, just understand sometimes that confirmation is not going to come in the moment. You're going to have to give it some time to, you know, come out later. All right, so there is an energy in this, and this is one that a lot of people right now are struggling with. This energy of fears around money. Obviously, we have a lot going on in the world. No matter where you are, things are probably hard. I know that if you're in America like I am, that you may have a lot of fear surrounding the uncertainty and instability in the country at this time. Understand, you're not alone in this. You really aren't. I promise that there are so many more of us who are concerned than are not concerned. So I don't know if that makes you feel better or not, but just understand you're not alone. I just want you to know that. So first off, we have a past life energy that's kind of coming in, or a past experience energy. So this is coming in two ways. So there may be two groups of people. And I'm going to pull more cards, but as a channel, a lot of the information that I pull through comes through that channel, and that's how I do my readings, so just bear with me here. So for one part of this collective, for some of this collective, this is actually an energy that is coming in from a past life. So this could be in terms of perhaps you had a vow of poverty in a past life. Many people have those where they were joined in a church or some kind of religious, some kind of religious practice wherein poverty was a vow. And when we take vows, they're very strong, strong enough to reach over multiple lifetimes. And so that is one thing that I'm getting here, is that there is a connection to a past lifetime where there may have been a poverty vow. I'm seeing somebody like getting like orphanage type vibes. So somebody who possibly had a past life wherein you grew up in a very poverty stricken place, or family, whatever. Whatever it was, that energy is kind of carrying over into this lifetime. And when we say low vibrational spiritual practices, okay, how this is actually coming through, this is not like, ooh, spell work. How this is coming through is that some of you have been watching videos perhaps about manifesting money. And so you've been trying to practice that, but it's the way that it's being done is not actually helping you. It is actually probably doing the opposite. I'll be honest with you, it's probably doing the opposite. So manifestation does not happen the way that a lot of people think. They think that if I be good and I do good things, and I go about my day and I be the very best version of me, and I don't get mad at anybody, and I don't do anything wrong and all of that, that I am going to somehow earn the graces of the universe to give me all of the things that I want and need, and all the money. Okay? And so you do that, and then you start to put the manifesting out there. They're telling you to vocalize the words. They're saying, hey, put out to the universe, I would like some money, this kind of thing. But a lot of times what gets missed in the translation of asking is that when you are constantly asking for this out of desperation and from a place of fear, it is actually creating the opposite effect. It is frequency wise, it is telling the universe that you want more of what you have right now. And so manifestation really does need to be coming from a place of gratitude. You need to be assessing where you are in this current moment and start naming all the reasons you appreciate where you already are. Okay. Gratitude is really important when it comes to manifesting things, especially in the physical and 3D, and understanding that things are created in our inner vortex, in our inner world, way, way, way before they ever show up in the 3-dimensional. And so if the frequency that you're constantly putting out in your meditations, or, just throughout your day, is this desperation for money, I need this because I'm going to not have my bills paid. I need this because of this. I need this because of this. What you're actually doing is you're putting all of that focus on the negative. You're putting all of that energy into I don't have. And so the universe, which matches frequency, because that is how that works, we attract like attracts like. So the universe, to match that frequency, continues to give you situations wherein you can experience having that frequency some more. So the very first thing that we have to do is consider, where are we being low vibrational when we are asking for things, and are we doing things from true generosity? This is a big one. Okay, you cannot con the universe. You cannot con the universe. The universe does not care about what you tell yourself. The universe does not care about what lies you say to yourself to make you feel better about what you're doing or you're saying. The universe doesn't care. It doesn't, I promise. So if you are putting on a facade and kind of pretend being a good person in order to somehow con the universe into giving you what you want, understand that facade's not going to last. And you will have an experience where all of that comes crashing down on you, because it's like a false energy. It's like trying to manipulate. But the thing is that the universe doesn't read the energy you think you're putting out. It reads the energy you're actually putting out. It reads the intentions of your soul. So when you are doing things and they're not actually coming from a genuine place, right? Because if you're giving to others with the expectation or the desire for the universe to give back to you, then what you're actually doing is you're creating you're creating a give back. And so it is not a genuine vibration. It's just not, okay? And you can tell yourself that it is if you want, but at the end of the day, you're only gonna hurt yourself with that, okay? So if you're doing that, it's time to probably stop, reconsider how we're going about things, and really look at that in our inner world, and see maybe where that's coming from and why it's not genuine, okay? So I don't know who needs to hear that. Just understand this is not an attack on your character. It's not an attack on your person. All that I am trying to do by relaying these messages to you is to open up your eyes to the possibility that maybe you just haven't considered yet, okay? And understanding that alignment, I get knocked down, but I get up again, okay? When this is a beautiful energy, because honestly, it's the energy of survival. It's the energy of not letting this world take you out, basically, isn't it? I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. And so whoever you are, despite, okay, so whoever this is, despite all of this, despite the fears, despite and this is not, it's not that it's bad to be seeking out other ways to work with the energy of the universe. It's just how it's being done, right? We have to be so mindful about how we're doing things. And so, you know, all of this, it really is, it's good. It seems or feels bad in the moment, but it's not actually bad. It's not. It shows that you're trying, right? And the universe takes note of that, right? And it takes note of this. Because whoever you are, it doesn't matter how many times you've been knocked down when it comes to these fears that you have, you do still keep getting up, okay? And the universe responds to that. That frequency of persistence, that frequency of, you're not taking me out. I'm here to stay, so you might as well give me what I want, okay? All right, what can we do? What can the collective do? Or what can they see to help them through this? King of Earth, a successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. The Midas touch. The Midas being, if I remember correctly, the person who everything he touched turned to gold, right? The Midas touch, everything turning to gold. And so this is exactly what we were talking about, okay? This is exactly what we were talking about, in that when we shift our perception into looking at, genuinely looking at what we already have with gratitude, true gratitude, not, yeah, must be nice kind of stuff, but like truly, true gratitude. You know, if you have a roof over your head, express your gratitude for that. If you have food in your belly, express your gratitude for that. There are people that don't have that. And that's not to make you feel guilty, but to understand that when we see the same things over and over, day after day, to us, they become normal. Okay? To us, they become normal and somehow less special because we're just so used to having that all the time. Right? We're so used to having it all the time that we just expect it. And when gratitude turns into expectation, okay, that's a problem. When gratitude turns into expectation, you're no longer in an aligned frequency. Now you're kind of in a selfish frequency. Hold on, I'm being corrected on that. Not selfish. Okay, look, there's a time and a place. That's how we're going to express that, right? There's a time and a place. So for whoever you are, you keep getting knocked down. You don't know how to get out of this. This is a cycle. Poverty is a cycle. And a lot of us have gotten it from our parents. Maybe we got it from a past life. But it doesn't mean that it's any less real or any less impactful. When you are constantly making decisions in your life from a place of fear around money, it really creates a suctioning energy wherein you start to pull in more poverty-like experiences. Okay, and so shifting perspective, we need to start focusing on how we want to live. All right, we need to start focusing on celebrating our wins, when it doesn't matter how small they are. If you got up today and you did something that made you even slightly proud of yourself, that was a win. Celebrate that. Okay, and stop selling yourself short. Whoever this reading is for, you're very talented. Okay, everybody is very talented in their own ways, and I think that sometimes you don't think that, and you've slowly almost been telling yourself that nothing's going to change, that you don't have anything to offer the world, that it's just the same. I heard the same crap, different day, right? And Spirit is here saying, like, let not the flame die out. Don't let what drives you disappear. Okay, it's so important for us to understand that there are more opportunities being offered to us than we realize. And if you pause for a moment and you think about this, okay, I really, really want you to think about it. There have been times where you have made yourself a victim and either overlooked or outright denied yourself opportunities so that you could sit in an energy of victimhood. Opportunities to experience things. Okay, maybe somebody offered you a free ticket somewhere, but you said, well, I can't afford the gas, so you didn't go. Right? And then you sat there thinking about how sad it is that you don't have any money and you never get to go do things. That is a victimhood mentality. That's an energy of victimhood. And so this is not to shame you or to make you feel, regret or anything, but this is to say that opportunities are given to us every single day. Opportunities to find joy in the very smallest things that we experience in our day-to-day lives. Those opportunities are there every single day. And it is our choice to accept them and be grateful for them, or to deny them so that we can continue to feel sorry for ourselves. Okay? Why are you so obsessed with me? This is kind of like being obsessed with the idea, being obsessed with what you don't have. I don't think we always realize that when we focus our energy time and time again on what we don't have, on our lack, it creates this obsessive energy, and the more you do it, the easier it is to do. So the more you do it, the easier it is to do, and the more you do it. Okay? And so now, you might have turned down one opportunity a week ago, but the more you obsessed about how a victim you were and how nobody wants to be around you and you can't afford to do anything, so you're not even leaving the house. Now you're not even going grocery shopping. Now you're literally just sitting in a room. I'm seeing somebody sitting in a room completely alone, curled up in a ball, thinking that the whole world is just there to beat them up. But how much we have to start taking responsibility for our vibrations, guys. How much of that was you creating an obsessive spiral in a negative way that then started to show up in your physical world? How much of it? Right? There's this flame of creativity inside of you, this thing that you have to offer the world. And if you don't start taking the opportunities that are being presented to you when they do, you're never going to get out of this. Because the very reason that those opportunities are coming in is because I keep getting up. But it doesn't matter if you keep getting up if you never allow yourself to have more. It doesn't matter if you keep getting up if you're constantly telling yourself that you are never gonna be more, never gonna have more. You know, the difference between going to a job you maybe don't exactly like, when you know that it's just a stepping stone. It's just a stepping stone to where you're really going. It's just a place where you can garner wisdom and keep afloat until that works out, that thing that you keep getting up to do over and over again. There's a difference between an energy like that and an energy where you are resigned. And you go to work and think to yourself, well, this is it for me. This is all I'm ever gonna have. I got Eeyore from Pooh Bear. Let's see, what is our advice from Spirit? What does Spirit have for advice for us today? What is your advice to get out of this? All of this energy. Besides this. This was our first advice, but I'd say our closing advice. What do you want to leave us with, Spirit? So much of our outer world is impacted by our inner world and the thoughts that we choose to house. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not. It's not easy to it's not easy. Sorry, 2 cards popped out, flew across the room. I was trying to grab them. It's not always easy to change this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you that a lot of people would think it's impossible. It's not. This is your perception, and you choose to focus on what you choose to focus on, and you need to take accountability for the choices that you make. Continuing, we're not talking we have to be mean to ourselves and say, hey, dummy, why are you thinking that way? No, what we do need to redirect those thoughts. When we see and we acknowledge and we recognize that we are starting to spiral into negativity, it is our responsibility to ourselves to pause, reflect, and ask ourselves if that's benefiting us. And if it's not, to change the narrative, to move into gratitude. Just start listing off things that you're grateful for, okay? So the 2 cards that popped out were the 9 of Air, which is expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. And this goes hand in hand with these fears, right? And the idea that if we're constantly putting out that fear, what are we drawing in? If you are ruminating, because that's the word, look it up. If you are ruminating over things going bad over and over and over again, and you're spiraling into bad, into worse and worse, and you're sitting there and you're dreaming about it, and now it's affecting your sleep at night, and you're having panic attacks, or you go to bed and you can't even close your eyes and rest your mind because you have this whirlwind of all the what ifs, what ifs, what ifs, what ifs. Guess what? You will create a self-fulfilling prophecy here, because you will attract it in vibrationally. And if you are able to sit here and think and contemplate the what if in a bad way, guess what? You are absolutely just as capable of thinking about the what if in the best way. What if it all works out? Events that occur with great speed take time to carefully review your options, create a solution. It's the Knight of Air. This Knight and this Unicorn are poised and ready to take on what comes their way. They are not victims. They're not laying, waiting for the end. They're standing upright, sword drawn, ready to battle that which doesn't serve them. Okay? And to do it fast, because this energy, we got to get out of this. We got to get out of this. We don't need any towers from this. You don't need to be doing this anymore, okay? You don't need to do this anymore. The world doesn't matter how bad the world looks like. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, there will always be goodness. There will always be something that is there for you. Opportunities. Take time to carefully review your options. Sometimes when we are focused on the bad, we miss the opportunities that could lead us out of the bad. Okay? We put ourselves in an energy where we're so defeated that we lose our ability to create solutions for ourselves. It's time to move out of that energy and to reignite our fight. Reignite that knowing that says, I know that I am divinely protected. I know that things always work out for my greatest good. I know that there are reasons to have joy every moment, even if they're small. That's the difference between giving up and hope. That's the difference between resigning to a fate we don't even actually have to resign to, and stepping into a future that we are actively co-creating with the universe in our best interest. Two, 4, 6, 246. 246. Some of you guys are having angel numbers come to you in 222, 22222. You're seeing a lot of 444s, a lot of 666s. These, I just want to point out that this is a sequence 246, and in that way, understanding that life is also, it's just a set of sequencing. A sequence of events that ends up becoming something else. And whoever you are very intelligent, and you know there's a part of you, doesn't matter how small, that knows that this is not how it's supposed to be, and that this is not how you want to feel anymore. Okay? And it takes that intention, that decision, that decisiveness, that intention to say, I will no longer live in victimhood and poverty mindset. I will step into a future that serves me. I will step into a future authentically, that is aligned with who I am and what I desire in my world. And it's your choice to make. Nobody else can make it for you. Nobody else can walk that path for you. And you know that. You've always known it. That's why you're here, and that's why you're watching. I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you if you've stayed till the end. Please leave me a comment. Subscribe, maybe give me a thumbs up would be really super awesome as an energy exchange. And yeah, I've been off for a couple of days here because I did have a flu A and it got really, really bad. I am doing a lot better. Taking some time off work. So, yeah. Let me know if this resonated for you in the comments below, and tell me what you think of this layout, this format. And yeah, have a great day, guys. Love you. Bye.